something I don't understand. Why is it we're taught constantly as kids that violence is never the answer to our problems? Yet, that somehow flies out the window during adulthood. Have I been in a fight before? Well, yeah, but that wasn't my fault. The guy punched my shoulder first. I didn't get in trouble that time, so it wasn't a big deal. I didn't get in trouble this time either, but it was because I was just trying to be a good Samaritan, and this old woman went totally berserk on me. I should probably back up and tell the story from the very beginning. I woke up this morning, and when I went to the kitchen, there was basically nothing to eat. My parents have both been pretty busy, so I guess I don't blame them for getting groceries lately, but this was kind of ridiculous. We had a lot of things that could go on something that we didn't have. Jelly for toast, we didn't have bread. Maybe some cereal, we didn't have milk. There definitely wasn't anything for me to make something. We were out of sugar, flour, and baking soda. I sighed and closed all the cupboards and the fridge door. "Mom?" I said. She was doing something on her computer before she left for work. "What is it?" she asked me. I asked her if she could give me some money for groceries, speaking since there was barely anything in the fridge. She of course agreed. It would be one less thing she'd have to worry about this week. I was happy to help. I got in my car maybe 20 minutes later. I had to get ready. The store wasn't that far either. Honestly, the whole trip was feeling like one of those mindless ones you do a million times in a month, so I just felt like I was going through the motions. Grocery shopping isn't exactly exciting. I came into the store and looked down at the hefty list I put together. My mom gave me a lot of money, since shopping for our family was an expensive ordeal. My little brother and I could eat all day, and when Noah used to live with us, I feel so bad for my parents knowing they had to deal with that. As I was shopping, I had this weird encounter with an old lady. She was taking up one of the aisles, and I asked her if she could politely move. She looked at me and glared. Like a Mr. Blockner I hope you catch on fire kind of glare. I jerked back quickly and just turned around. I'd get into the aisle the other way, it's fine. Other than that exchange, shopping went fine, and so I went to pay. The shortest register line was of course none other than the one with the old lady. I wanted to groan out loud. Her groceries piled and almost spilled over her cart. She had to do some intense Tetris-style stuff to keep it all in. She was mumbling under her breath, while stealing glances at the girl working the register. She wasn't old. She looked like she was a university student from what it looked like. I hadn't seen her around the high school. The woman's grumbling started to become a little louder, but they were still incoherent. The girl carried on trying to scan the items and bag everything. That's when all hell broke loose. The old lady was scolding her, asking her if she could go any slower. The girl was patient and just silently sped up her process as much as she could. The old lady wasn't having it. She started yelling at her, telling her she was just bad at her job. "I should talk to your boss. He has no interest hiring people as bad as you, not to mention your disrespectful attitude." I felt bad. This girl was just trying to do her job. I could tell she didn't have the energy to argue. She just took it silently, scanning the items. The old woman just kept going though. I had experience with mad old women, and I didn't want to make the same mistake twice, so I just politely asked her to be patient with her. That's when she turned around and started yelling at me. "Geez, calm down," I said. "I get that you're mad, but you could at least calm down a little bit. I just don't want there to be a scene." The old lady's eye was twitching. Uh-oh. Then she lunged at me while swinging her gigantic purse at my face. I leaped out of her way before she could do any possible damage. I yelped and dodged her. People were definitely looking now. "You just tried to hit me!" I yelled. Seriously, why were old ladies so keen on destroying my face and my things? A couple workers came to my rescue. I felt so relieved at that moment. I really didn't want to make her any more mad than she already was. But she was making me mad, and I would have said something if they didn't. That would have been a way bigger disaster. She was still yelling at the girl at the register and I, swinging her purse blindly, smacking the two men leading her out of the store. I couldn't help but giggle a little. At least this time, I could say I wasn't provoking any violence. In the end, I paid for all of my groceries and went home. I told my mom the whole story, and soon after, my friends. We eventually started joking. I'm an old lady anger magnet, and I stay away from random mean old people as much as I can.